Pam, what are you doing?
Getting the coffee you wanted?
Conference room emergency now.
What do you mean?
Conference room now! Okay. I got the help. Dwight, I got the help.
I don't need help!
Sit down.
Yes, Michael. Yeah?
Show Dwight how to do the speech.
Oh, that's great, because I've actually been working
Okay,
on
nobody cares about your backstory. Sit down.
Here's Battlestar Galactica. Identity theft is not a joke, Pam!
Okay, Pam, go.
When you hear these 3 words in succession, I know the first thing that comes into your mind, and that would be the greatest show to ever be aired on television. When you hear these words, you are brought to a place of pure joy. The Office is guaranteed to bring tears to your eyes, laughter that you cannot contain, and pure joy in your soul. How do I know all of this? I have watched all 9 seasons of The Office start to finish 3 times. I average out at 2 episodes a day. One could call me an Office expert. The Office can introduce you to many different types of people and personalities without having to go out and be introduced to you in person. Have you ever been in a situation where the people that surround you do not really like, but the excuse to stay in that situation is that you must learn how to work with / around those people? With connection to a Netflix subscription or DVDs of a show stocked up in your house, you have the opportunity to be exposed to 35 different people and countless more situations through the 9 seasons without having to leave the comfort of your own bed. You will meet a well-intentioned regional manager, Michael, whose "that's what she said" jokes will catch you off guard, like coming into your workplace and finding all your things put in Jell-O. You will also meet an artistic secretary who is secretly in love with the witty prankster sales representative. The characters and the situations they go through in the show can teach us how to handle new personalities, as well as give us a good idea of what to do when we put into similar situations in the workplace or elsewhere. An example of this happened in the episode Casino Night. Jim has been in love with Pam since they started working together, even though she was already engaged to someone from the warehouse. Jim decides he needs to tell Pam this before he decides if he wants to leave to get a promotion in Stanford. Even though Pam turns him down, they eventually end up together, which would have never happened without this moment. Jim taught me courage and that it is always best to share your feelings because something amazing can come from it. It was an eye-opening lesson in my life, and it did not even have to experience it firsthand. Something that draws people into a 14-year-old show is that it can never be an original copy or aired today. Remaking The Office would be the biggest sin humankind has ever made. Not only would it ruin the show, like most remakes do, but it would need to be toned down on the types of satirical jokes and references the show thrives on. Hearing the outrageous sexist, racist, and homophobic comments made by some of the characters within the show makes it more interesting to watch. They say things that are close enough to the line to not be horrible, but becoming an example of what not to do or say. Michael Scott is an imperfect embodiment of this satirical humor. Affectionate and inappropriate are like bees and honey when talking about the character that is Michael Scott. His desire to have friends and a family, as well as his never-ending support of his employees, is what draws you to his character. But sooner or later you will find his flaw. He is unbelievably stupid. He shows that sometimes that people with the best intentions have the worst way of coming about them. Always coming from a good place, even though they never come out that way in the workplace. His "that's what she said" jokes and compliments on Pam's face. Most things Michael says are the things that, if said in an unsatirical setting, would be shocking, and that shock factor is what brings people back to the show. Nowadays, I don't think the creator of The Office, Steve Carell, would be able to get away with that kind of sense of humor as easily as he did back in 2004.
Okay, just get out. Okay, now that Pam's gone, start your speech.
For the motherland!
When you are low, the best thing to make you feel better is the glow from your humming screen. You're holding the computer and your happiness in your arms. I know from personal experience that this show can solve any problem and heal any soul. I know that this past summer I had been cheated, hurt, heartbroken for the first time in all my life. All I could do was cry and sleep and shut out the world. I went into a deep depression that lasted all summer. All summer I was stuck in my own head. I was living, but I wasn't really living. I felt like nothing was going to help, until one day, while I was scrolling through Netflix, figuring out what to watch, then The Office jumped out at me. I had never seen it before and decided it would be better than watching nothing, so I started an episode 1. I instantly became attracted to the characters and the plot. It became all I ever did. The show filled me with joy every time I watched it. It made me cry, it made me laugh. I turtled through the last few episodes as the summer was ending, trying to hold on to the joy. Saying that this show isn't that good is entirely wrong. This show brought me out of the sadness, and I know I'm not the only one. One of my favorite bands, AJR, wrote a song perfectly describing the undeniable excellence that is The Office, called Netflix Trip. The song is about how The Office got them through particularly tough times in their lives and how it is not just a show. The art that is The Office was made to heal the soul. The Office was made for any condition you are in. It teaches that home is where the great are small and the small are great. And it taught me that you can make happiness out of happiness. This show has taught me so many life lessons and has led me to believe that this timeless TV show that will make an imprint on your heart is the best TV show to ever be aired on television.